last to secure that bag. Bro couldn't hang too late, them times more time than the boys on tag. Can't take questions but mention when my guys on road, yeah, he moves all mad.
What is up, guys? I thought I'd make a quick video as I've got something new for the Z again, and this time I think this is a must-have, especially if you have a base model. I think it completely transforms the interior. The Nismo spec and the GT spec do come with a head unit screen sort of thing, but yeah, let's just get straight to it. This company reached out to me and they wanted to send me out a Tesla style Apple CarPlay head unit to put in the car, and obviously I couldn't turn down the offer, so here we are today. It has finally come through. To be fair, the shipping wasn't that long, it was kind of quick, so yeah, let's just show you guys straight away what this is. It's a Tesla style Apple CarPlay head unit, which I think will completely transform the interior, and I'll be giving you guys my honest thoughts. If it's not good, I'm going to let you guys know it's not good, and if it is good, I'll probably recommend it. I won't show you everything as there's no point in my opinion. It's quite self-explanatory. You're going to get a screen and some cables. One thing that is quite important is the instruction manual. The instruction manual actually shows the install for both base model head units and also Nismo / GT spec head units, which I think is great. Only bad thing to this is it's not colored, but other than that, I think it's quite good. The instructions are actually very simple and very easy to follow. But before we get into any of that, tools you'll need for the job: you just need a screwdriver. You don't need this whole set. I've got this set obviously, but you just need a regular Phillips. First things first, you want to take off your gear shifter. You want to start by removing your gear shifter surround. On the auto cars, I'm not sure how you would remove this area here, so I'm afraid you're gonna have to watch a different video for that. But for the manual guys out there, just hold literally underneath here, get a nice little grip, and that is it. Pull it out and done. Just literally push down. It's just a push down tab. Just push down on that piece right there. It's kind of hard to show you with one hand, but yeah, push down on there and pull. It should slide out. I might be able to do it one hand because yeah, maybe not. I don't want to damage anything. Cool. Step number 2 would be to remove your knee pads. You've got, I believe, 2 screws on both sides, one there and I believe one there on both sides. And then once you've removed those 2 screws, you just want to start pushing or prying or whatever. Just put a little bit of force into the bottom. You'll hear it clip out because it's got 2 clips, I believe. Just start from the bottom, work your way up to the top. So here's a quick demonstration on how to remove these knee pads in case you're a bit worried about pushing or applying too much force. You get your hand underneath that. That's it. Done. Done. Push there. Push there. Boom. It's off. Step number 3, if I remember correctly, is we have 2 screws, I think. This one and this one on both sides. Take them both out. A good place to store your screws, in my opinion, is these cup holder area. Just keep them all in one place. Don't lose anything. That's the last thing you want to be doing if you're doing this install. So yeah, I just removed those 4 screws, like I said, and I think what you want to do is start. Oh, there you go. So actually, there's like a little crease here. Once you get your finger in there, you can just push it open and the whole thing will come off. I believe there should be some connectors you must remove under there. Yep, there's that one connector right there you want to remove. So it's probably going to be the same push clip style thing. Yeah, I was wrong. Obviously you got 2 more connectors, one to show that your car is locked, your power for your car to turn on and off. What I ended up doing after I've removed it is I took apart some of the screws. Now there's going to be, in order to remove this middle piece right here, you would have to take apart, you have to take off pretty much all the surrounding screws. After you remove all those clips, is you have these like little tabs here. You want to pry that open and the little clip will pop out, and those clips look like, so it's these small things here, right? Once you pry open, they'll just slot out. After that happens, you just pull it out and that piece comes off. What you want to do after to actually remove this middle piece is you want to take apart the vent, because you can't take this out without removing the vent, as the vent pieces are stopping it from coming out. So what you want to do is you just want to push on the inside, pull on the inside or outside, sorry, and the vent piece comes off. That wasn't a good sound, but yeah, it comes off. There you go. Now we're left with this. You know what? It would be nice to actually retrim this in Alcantara. Okay, so the next step will be to remove this centerpiece here. Remove that one and that one, which is the same on both sides. Down there, oh, down there, up there. Once you've done that, I believe, yeah, I was right. You just pull it off. And it looks like you got one connection there. You want to, same, push tab, whatever. Push down in the middle bit and pull. Would I be able to do this one-handed? Yes, I can. That's a good sign. So the next step would be to remove the screen and the head unit. For the screen, you want to remove these screws. You got one screw there and one screw there, and I believe the screen will come straight off. There you go. It's going to be a little connector back there. Take out the connectors and the screen is completely off. Okay, so what you want to do after you've taken out the screen, you want to start by removing the two screws down below, which are there and there. And then what you want to do is you want to pull this out, angle it down, and remove all the connections in the back. Now after you've done that, there'll be two more screws that you want to remove, which hold this white box, which we need to keep. This one we don't adjust, we don't do anything to, we leave it as is. But the way that we take that out is there'll be another two screws, one on each side, one right there and the other right there. So you want to remove those screws, pry open this piece right here a little bit, push it out to the side, and these little pins that we have on the side will slot right out and this box will come out. So put that down. This is actually quite hard doing everything in the car, but yeah, getting it done. So you got this wiring harness now. You got this white box you just want to tuck in at the back somewhere, nice and safe. Leave it there. And then this is where we get to the wiring side of things. So now let's go get our wiring harnesses and see what fits where, because apparently the wiring harness only fits one way on these plugs. So alright guys, so the next step would be to get your screen into the surround that we just basically removed everything from, and it literally just slots right in. You want to get your, just basically redo what we've just undone in the same order. The vents go in last and then the screws. You won't have to reuse all the screws, as we're not going to put the keypad and the old navigation style buttons. As far as the wiring goes, I'm not going to go into detail in this video. What I will do in fact is refer you to a video that helped explain things to me in the most simplest way possible. So just click somewhere, it would either be up there or maybe in the description below. Just click the link and that will explain everything you need to know about the wiring. For the people that had the Bose speakers in their Z's, you will have to install a ground loop, which it's gone somewhere. It's this right here, and this will basically be plugged into your audio harness that comes from your head unit into the audio harness, and then you have another outgoing harness for the audio harness in the car. But yeah, that all will be explained in the video that I will refer for you guys. So that's as far as the wiring goes. It's quite simple, and then just redo what we've done before, which is basically pop this back on, which will be done now as such, and then you want to pull these out, get the other one out, try and fish it through. Oh shit, check out the bicep. Yeah, you're gonna have to need two hands, maybe do it with one. Oh, got it. But yeah, do it like that, and then just connect up these two here, make sure it works, which I'll do so right now. Move this blanket out the way. There you go. And the first boot up, it might take a while to boot up, but and then it should connect up once you've obviously I've done this all already, so just to make sure it all worked. But yeah, once you've done that, you want to check out your Apple CarPlay, make sure everything works, Spotify works. You can, you know, go on your playlist. It is quite responsive, to be fair. Let's go to home, go on your apps. If you've got the car, if you've got a reverse camera, you can have the guidelines by going on your settings, going on system, is it system? Yeah, system, and then setting guide, dynamic guideline, and turn that on, as mine is already on, as you can see. I mean, here are all your apps. Browse through them all. You got your Chrome. Obviously, you need to connect to the internet in order to use Chrome. We don't have no internet at the moment, but yeah, all in all, it is actually quite sick. It's your apps. Close the apps. Apple CarPlay. It is actually incredible. What do you guys think? Let me put everything back up. Do some cinematic shots.
16 missed calls. Sorry I was busy, but I missed y'all. If you see me ballin' in my bitch ball, all my niggas ballin' like I'm Rich Paul. Skirt up in the alley, I'm a lift off. All your bitches do Pilates when you're rich dog.
But yeah, oh yeah, I even forgot to show you guys. Got this new carbon fiber steering wheel. Got the Alcantara on the sides. Carbon fiber on the thumb grips. I think it looks dope. But yeah, I think the interior is actually complete right now. We've got the ambient kit, carbon everywhere. We got the Tesla style screen now. Oh yeah, what's on the wrist today? Got the Tudor Royal two-tone with the chocolate brown dial. I think it looks incredible. Much better. That sunburst finish is nice. But anyway, yeah, enough about watches. More about the Z. If you guys want to know more about the company that provided this beautiful Tesla style screen, check the link in the description. They've been very responsive. Any like slight issues or questions that I've had, they got back to me ASAP. Also, they'll be doing a little discount code. If you check the description, everything will be linked there. Yeah, I think if you guys were on the edge of whether or not to buy a Tesla screen or not, I suggest you do, because it just completely transforms the car. But yeah, I couldn't be more happier with this Tesla style screen. It's far better than what I ever thought it was going to be. You go back to your Apple CarPlay, you got your Apple Maps, you got Waze, you got WhatsApp, you got a whole bunch of stuff, in other words, that you can use. I prefer to use Google Maps just because I like the way it looks. Oop, don't want to show you that. I don't want you guys to know where I live, but for the most part, yeah, back on the Spotify. I was expecting it to be a bit glitchy, a bit laggy, but yeah, it's nothing like that. All the links and everything will be in the description again, even the link for this steering wheel, which if you guys want to update steering wheel, go for it. It's just OEM plus in my opinion. Still retains your red pinstripe on the top. Not much more can be said about this. It's just incredible. Check the links in the description if you guys want to grab yourself one too. Delivery time for me wasn't long at all. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it was quite quick, in fact. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video.